How would a man succeed at men's work?
For you.
What are the things that really support men? Yeah, so one thing I want to say, this is a journey that is really hard to do on your own. It's really hard to do. I know there are men that can go out in the desert and grow and be a totally different person, but I really do believe that having a support system that can give us feedback,
Mm-hmm.
what they're seeing that we can't see, that can provide a safe space for us to go into our feelings
Mm-hmm.
and be vulnerable and actually allow ourselves in front of other people to show our vulnerability
Mm-hmm.
and still feel accepted. That is such a huge thing for most men,
Mm-hmm.
to actually show up weak, show up where where we don't know what to do, where we're afraid, where we're blocked, and let all that out, and then have these men just hold us in that, whether it's emotionally or it's with hugs and with just a feeling of safety.
Yeah.
Such a huge, huge thing. So a safe place for us to do our work.
So
That's
success
critical.
is finding a group of people, a group of men
It
that,
can be one other man, as we've
yeah,
talked about, but a way where we can create a safe container, and then some processes where we open ourselves up and feel seen and accepted.
yeah, there's that saying, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go in a group.
Ooh, I love that.
So what I'm hearing you say about succeeding is finding your group, whether it's one, whether it's 1,000, finding a group of people that can support you in your lengthy journey
Yes.
towards um, authenticity, vulnerability, this transparency, this way of showing up in the world, warts and
Yes.
all your blemishes, and to be held.
Yes.
Yeah, think of
Yes.
like a sangha.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. And then there's another thing that comes up for me. When I talk about exposing ourselves, the parts of us that we judge are not strong and good, right? So we all, as we develop as children, as we grow up, there are parts of us that get nourished, encouraged, and we feel good about those parts of ourselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then there are other parts of ourselves that often are discouraged or judged,
Mm.
and we tend to hide those things, uh, not just from other people, but also from ourselves. Yeah. And so that's a part of what I'm talking about, is like having a container where I can actually develop the parts of myself that are undeveloped, that have been lying in shadow, where they've been judged and held back. Here's a safe place for me to show those parts and actually practice new ways of being.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In MKP, there is this framework that we use. It's called the 4 archetypes.
Yeah.
Do you want me to mention that right now,
Let's talk about
or
that
is that
after we
later?
get to the, yeah, but we
Okay.
can talk about the king, the warrior, the king, magician, warrior, lover.
That's
What
right.
order are they in?
Lover, warrior, magician, king.
Lover, warrior, magician, king.
That's
We'll
right.
definitely talk about that.
Yeah. And just to keep it on this issue, so for me, I've always been a lover. Like you can see this in me, right? Like I'm fairly expressive and I have access to my feelings. I've always been this way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm unusual for most men, right? In that way. And people have tried to shame me around that, but it's always been who I am.
Mm.
And the other part of me that's been strong is being a warrior, My parents, my culture taught me when your boss says go do this, I'll go do it. When my academic professor says do this and you'll get an A, hell yeah. I can do that. But the king and the magician, totally undeveloped.
Mm-hmm.
And I started doing a lot of work on that about 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.